Hey guys, welcome back to Blazed Confused, and today we're going to be talking about the return of Jon Jones and 3 possible opponents he could face upon his return to the Octagon. Now the reason it isn't a usual 5 opponents as I do on my previous vids and lists is because I think there's only 3 fairly obvious opponents that he could face, and you know, with the guy of Jon Jones' stature with being the greatest of all time in my opinion, there's only, you know, a title fight, an interim fight or a number 1 contender fight for him in my opinion. But before we get started on the list, I just want to explain to you guys why I have been absent from YouTube for a few days. Now I've been at an MMA convention in Manchester, which is the full world of MMA event. I got to meet some legends like Bisping, PSP, Tom Aspinall, Third Colleague, Pondit, Randy Couture. I will be showing you guys like a mini vlog and montage of what I got up to in tomorrow's YouTube vid, so definitely stay tuned for that. But getting into the list, coming in at number 3 is Tom Aspinall. Now I know you guys may be thinking, why Tom Aspinall, or why would Jon Jones face him upon his return? But in my opinion, if the Stipe fight doesn't happen and Stipe instead fights Ty, I think you do Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall for an interim heavyweight belt. And I know a lot of you were thinking Tom Aspinall said he didn't want to fight for the belt, but Tom Aspinall also said he didn't want to fight such high caliber competition so soon, and the UFC gave him Volkov, which he destroyed him in the very first round. So I think an interim fight between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall would be absolutely electric, would be the biggest fight of all time in the UK. You know, they could definitely do that in the stadium, potentially the main event in August, have the co-main Usman versus Edwards, and just do an ultra epic UK stacked championship card, which I think would be awesome. You know, as for Tom Aspinall being ready to face a guy like Jon Jones, I think what he's shown in his last 8 fights in the UFC, dispatching of a legend in Arnold, easily beating a guy like Volkov who had loads more fights than him, was very experienced, a very credible name in the heavyweight division. The run that Tom Aspinall has been on right now has been nothing like you've ever seen before in the heavyweight division. I know you may be thinking, well, what about Ngannou? What about the run that Stipe had? I'm talking about just sort of up and coming contenders. Fair enough, Ngannou had a good win streak, but he didn't show quite the skill that Tom Aspinall has showcased in his last few fights. He showcased his jiu-jitsu, his kickboxing, his grappling. He's just becoming the more and more complete fighter the more we see him fight. So I think Jon Jones is a very good matchup for him. Obviously this would be a huge legacy cementing fight for Tom Aspinall if he is able to beat Jon Jones, which I honestly believe that he is more than capable of doing. You know, I think not only would this be a great fight for Tom, but it'd also be a good fight for Jon if he can come in there and he can beat an up and coming contender in Tom Aspinall, you know, put him away quite quickly, or just sort of draw him out to a 5-round decision. And I think this would be big for Jon Jones too, if he can beat, you know, a future heavyweight champion and a legend, and a legend in Tom Aspinall. It's pretty big for him. Obviously it's more big fight for Tom, as you know, there's more to gain in Tom beating Jon Jones, not only that, becoming an interim champion and guaranteeing himself a ticket to fight Ngannou. But I just think this is a fan-friendly, stylistic matchup. I think both guys are, you know, amazing fighters. As I say, Jon Jones is the greatest fighter of all time. I know a lot of people have GSP, Anderson Silva, but if you look at the caliber of opponents Jon has faced in his UFC career, you know, Rampage Jackson, Mauricio Rua, Glover Teixeira, who's now champion, and that win is more credible by day. He's got some wins over legends in the UFC. As I say, this wouldn't necessarily be like a legacy cementing fight for Jon, a big name on the resume compared to his previous fights, but it would be, you know, a credible win. You know, he stopped the hype train as one of the hottest prospects in the UK. Coming in at number 2 is a fairly obvious one. Stipe Miocic. Now this fight has to happen at some point, whether it's Jon's next fight, his first title defense, his 5th one, doesn't matter. This fight is, you know, one of the best fights we'll ever see in the UFC. You've got the greatest light heavyweight of all time versus the greatest heavyweight of all time. This is a very marketable fight, very sellable fight. Stipe is an amazing fighter, as I say. Even though he's lost in Ngannou, he's still one of the greats in my opinion. Stylistically, this is a good fight for Jon. You know, you haven't really seen too much grappling from Stipe. It's mainly boxing. He's a boxing heavy fighter, very high level striker, but I don't honestly think Stipe's game will be any problem to Jon. I think Tom is a harder fight for Jon than Stipe is. Stipe, to me, in his last few fights has come across very one-dimensional. He's very just sort of jab heavy. I think Jon will pick him apart and destroy him. I think he'll take out his legs, take him to the ground. I think he will completely dominate Stipe. And this is no disrespect to Stipe, as I say, he's an amazing fighter. He's got some great wins. He beat Cormier twice. You know, he beat some legends in the UFC, but I think Jon Jones is on another level for the heavyweight division. Aside from Tom Aspinall, I'm not saying that to be biased, but you know, I think you've got Jon, you've got Tom, and you've got Cyril. I think those are the three guys to look at in the heavyweight division right now. So as I say, this is a fan-friendly matchup, a legacy-cementing fight for both fighters. You know, if Jon goes in there, beats the greatest heavyweight of all time, then he beats Francis Ngannou, then you know, there's no doubt that people will definitely say he is the greatest of all time, because I don't think he gets that respect he deserves. As I say, there's no denying that GSP is one of the greats. Yeah, Anderson Silva is definitely one of the greats. Even Jose Aldo, in my opinion, he's got to be up there on the list, in the top 5 sort of greatest fighters to ever do it. But coming in at number 1 on the list is Francis Ngannou. I know this is another obvious one, but it's a fight that, you know, I haven't really talked too much about on the channel. You know, this is an incredibly huge fight for the UFC. Probably one of the biggest fights in UFC history. If both guys saw and market the fight correctly, and you know, there is a bit of maybe bad blood or anything to make this fight a sort of a bad blood grudge match, I think would be absolutely awesome. Not that I think it will be. Both guys are very respectful in the press conferences, and they've both said some very good things about each other. You know, Jon has sort of thrown a little bit of shade towards Francis's game. Said he is a bit sloppy and he is a bit boring, but as I say, a lot of mutual respect from both guys. You know, stylistically, as I say, I think this is another fairly easy fight for Jon Jones. You know, Ngannou has definitely improved, and I'm not going to deny that. What he did in the Steel Gun fight, you know, nothing short of incredible. Utilised his grappling and his takedowns, and we've never ever really seen that from Francis. We always thought that was a weakness. You know, if you look at the first Stipe fight, you know, he struggled with getting taken down and getting back up, and he showed none of that in, you know, the second Stipe fight and his most recent fight against Silgan. So Francis is only getting better, and as his wrestling gets better, his striking's only going to improve too. You know, he's going to give his opponent a lot to think about, and as I say, I'm not saying this is going to be a walk in the park for Jon Jones, but I think Jon Jones is just a superior fighter to most of these heavyweights, especially if he comes in around the same weight as Francis and really trains properly for him. You know, if Jon Jones is to beat Tom or Stipe, get that interim belt, then as I say, he's guaranteed a ticket to that fight, and in the back of his mind he's got to be preparing for Francis. You know, this is, as I say, a legacy cementing fight for Jon. You know, this is nothing new to him, but if he beats Stipe and then Francis, or he beats Tom then Francis, you know, whichever way he goes about, whoever, you know, the UFC match him up next, I think, as I say, it's only going to add to his legacy even more. And as I say, you know, one thing Jon Jones needs right now, he needs to get the fans' respect back. He's a very tough fighter to follow and a very tough fighter to support. He's always getting arrested, or he's doing something out the cage which just sort of stuns fans away and doesn't make them want to support him. But you know, whether fans want to admit it or not, he's an exciting fighter. He's a guy that you stay up and you watch if you're in the UK, or he's a guy that you want to pay your hard-earned money to just because of his stature. You know, as I say, the GOAT. So as I say, if Jon Jones can get in there and be active even this year, if he can fight Stipe or Tom this year, and then fight Francis early next year, and as I say, just get a chain going of fights and stay active. You know, if he is to become the heavyweight champion, massive things are going to come from him. You know, he's going to be one of the most looked at fighters in the UFC. He will become a draw. He will be attracting the eyes of the Israel Adesanya's. And yeah, with the way Glover's going, maybe, you know, Glover beats Yuri, Glover might want to get that rematch against John, so he's going to have tons of eyes on him when he comes back into the UFC. Loads of fighters are going to want to fight him. Understandably, he's set the benchmark for all these young up-and-coming fighters. Being the youngest champion in UFC history has got to inspire a lot of these guys in the UFC. You know, you've got guys like Muhammad Mokaev, who's only 21. You've got guys like, well, not guys, girls like Corey McKenna. You know, who also got to have that in the back of their mind. They want to get to that level or become, you know, one of the youngest champions in the UFC. So he's a very inspiring fighter if you look at his work in the octagon. You know, he's stayed on top and he's been able to sort of maintain it and still beat high level guys whilst making loads of money and also getting into all kinds of trouble. But I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. As I say, I know it was a bit of a short one compared to my previous ones, but I hope you guys still enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more content coming this week. I'm definitely going to be uploading more videos. You know, I have missed my breakaway from YouTube, but I have been busy and I haven't forgotten about you guys. Also, very quickly, I just want to say a massive thanks to all the support I got on my most recent Fortnite video. I believe it's got like 50 views. So I really do appreciate all the support. Stay tuned, there's also more Fortnite videos coming. I am working very hard on them, but the game is quite competitive, so I'm trying my best to give you guys some exciting content. So stay tuned, stay blazed, and peace.
What took you so long? Fighting robots? Ha! Me too. Oh, speaking of...
Looks like you got a handle on things.
You sound surprised.
You're one surprise after another.
Yeah, I'm pretty great. Nothing a few hundred bandages won't fix.
I swear you aged more than 5 years.
Yeah, you too. That's McHugh. Thanks for the assist, Tony.
Hang on.